Hi friends, welcome to Spring Security. So, what exactly is Spring Security? Spring Security is a kind of framework. It's a part of Spring. So, where we can apply, we can provide security to our resource uh, with the help of different mechanism, with the help of different strategies. Basically, we can say. So right now we'll try to see how we can secure RESTful APIs with the help of Spring Security and the JWT. Yeah, so in next 15 minutes we'll try to see what exactly Spring Security is doing and how it is doing. What exactly the piece of code we need to club together with Spring Security and JWT to provide a secured resources over the internet. So basically, JWT, it's a kind of JSON web token. It's a kind of, we can say right now it's standard. It's most common and quite popular. It's basically available with other programming languages as well, either Node or either Python, like that. Most of the server side application is right now supporting this JSON web tokens basically. So what exactly the JSON web token? It's a kind of string. It's a kind of data structure where we have a header and the payload data and the signature. So how the exactly the work is going on, means how this JWT is helping Spring Security is doing all this authentication process. So the user is looking for a particular resource that is not available to everyone. Means user is a valid user, then only can get the resource. So user is trying to get the resource, but the server is asking no. This is available for the valid user only. The server is asking for the username and the password. So user is providing username and the password, that is going to the authentication server. Authentication server authenticating, validating the username and password is valid or not, and based on that, if it is valid, going to return a token, JSON web token. Basically, the JSON token is getting responded to the end user, and for any further resource that is not available publicly, suppose the user wants, the user has to pass that JWT token along with the request header, then only can get that particular resource. So this is all about the basics. So now we'll try to go through the code. So we'll see how basically this is working. So we'll go in Eclipse and create a Spring Boot project basically. So Spring Boot project is basically kind of a Spring project, is having an inbuilt container. So no further deployment is needed to some particular container. So Spring Boot is having the capabilities, and we can club any kind of Spring applications like that, or Spring REST application, Spring Web application. So with Spring Boot, so that can be valid for providing resource over the internet like that. Okay, so this is very simple a Spring project we have, and project we have some certain libraries. So we are going to look into that pom.xml. So we'll see. I think the Spring Security is the major one. These all are the common Spring Starter Web Dev Tool. These are the common one. This is we are going to add for Spring Security, Spring Starter Security, and this is for the token Java JWT com auth 0, and other we used for normal Spring application. MySQL I used to get the data from that persistent storage basically. So first we'll try to see, we created a user table in the database. So we have an app user table where we have the user ID, username and the password, and for this app user we have an entity class, that is app user. It's basically mapped with that particular table. So here we have the app user is the table, and here we have the user ID, username and the password, the same column here we have. And after that we have a repository class basically. This repository class is basically used to get and set the data from the persistent storage. So here I added one method, basically find by username. So it's part of Spring Data basically, so no need to implement that complete method if you are going to write find by username. So what basically it's trying to find by the property username and try to get the user. Okay, so username is the properties and it will pass and it will get the user, so that we are getting it here. Okay, so now the most important thing what we are trying to go through here when we are implementing the Spring Security with JWT, that is basically that uh, filters. So basically we have two most important filter, that is JWT authentication filter and authorization filter. So JWT authentication filter is going to extend username password authentication filter basically. So what exactly this is doing, this username password authentication filter is having the capability to give the user a form if user is not authenticated earlier to the system, or the user need to pass the username and the password, and after getting the username and password the request is coming to this filter basically. So in this filter basically we have one method, that is attempt authentication. So what exactly it will try to do, it will try to get the request and the response, and based on the request and the response basically it's trying to create an app user model, what the request we are getting. So it's going to map that with the app user. So username and the password we are getting here, and later on we are going to authenticate means this username and password basically what we are trying to do here is authenticate by the username and the password whatever we have in the app user class. Okay, so it's trying to username and password authentication token, and authenticate is a method basically, authenticate method. So in authenticate method what basically we are trying to pass that this username and password authentication token, it's a kind of object basically, and it's basically returning an authentication object. Authentication is a kind of interface, that is a kind of we can say principle, security principle. So authentication is having all the data what basically we are looking that the JWT token along with the user ID, username, that is getting stored in authentication, and this authentication is getting stored in the thread local security context. So what exactly the thread local security context? So security context is a small kind of container where we can store the data, but here we have thread local security context. So thread local security context is a small container where we can store, but that is thread safe and that is having some extra security pattern applied on that. So basically this authentication is getting stored there, and we have successful authentication. So suppose the user is authentication is getting successful, its successful authentication is going on, then what basically we are trying to create a token. So token basically we are trying to create with the JWT, and we are going to apply the token with the user. This user is supported by Spring Framework, Spring Framework security framework. So basically we are going to attach that token with that particular user, and applying that how long this will be valid and some signatures, and then we are going to respond back the user with the token. So what exactly we tried here, we added the token in the body and we responded in that response. So like that we authenticated first and we created a token, we stick the token with the user object, and we again responded to the response for the further communication. So this is uh, authentication filter. Now we have authorization filter. So authorization filter is getting used basically when the user is going to log in and providing the username and password. After that user got a token. So now suppose the user is looking some resource, for that user need to pass the client need to pass the token. So basically the token is coming and is in the header, request header, basically in that authorization kind of parameter name, and here it's applying bearer, and after that the token is coming. So it's trying to check, okay, the header is available or not. If the header is not there, and that's this bearer is not there, it's going to return from there, and it will respond the user, no, this user is not valid, unauthorized. If this header is there, then it's trying to authenticate. So authenticate is that custom method what we have written here. It's trying to get the token and try to check the token in that thread local security context. If you remember last the authentication, all the data it's going to store in the thread local security context. So it will try to get the token from there, and after the token it's trying to create a username and password authentication token, and it will create an object and pass it to the end user. Means suppose the user is valid, and later on the user can get the particular response like that. So after that we have one more important uh, class here, that is user detail service sample, what I have written here. So this is basically going to implement the user detail service. It's part of Spring Security Framework basically. So what exactly we are going to write our custom authentication by the username. So suppose user is valid now, we know that by the token the user is valid now. We'll try to get that user from that username. So what exactly we created one repository earlier. So in repository we have a method username. It will try to get the user, and if the username is null, it means that it's not valid. It's going to respond like that. If the user is valid, then it's trying to create a new object. This is again the user object coming from Spring Security. It's trying to add the username and the password, and it's going to apply the granted authority what is needed for that. Anyway, authorization is not basically going to support here, so it's going to support only authentication. After that we have one most important class, that is web security Java. So basically here it's a kind of class that is going to extend the web security configurer adapter. So basically here in this class we have a method configurer that we are going to override. So in this method we are basically going to segregate what are the requests we are going to authenticate, means what are the private and what are the public URL, that's we are going to say like that. So and we are going to apply course as well here. So sign up URL is a public URL that we are going to permit all, and after that any other URL, any other resource that is not signed up, we need to apply this JWT authentication and authorization filter. Okay, so here we have like that, and apart from that we have one controller class, that is user controller. So it's nothing, simple sign up method we have written. Sign up, it's getting the way how we can create a new user in the system, and we are going to basically encode the password in some secured way, and then we are going to save that in the database. And for the bcrypt, so we have created a bcrypt password encoder. Okay, so now we'll see how we can run this application.